What's going on, knuckleheads? This is George with Fighters Rep. If you'd like to talk about combat sports, be sure to click the subscribe button below. Also, be sure to donate to the links below. Get you your Fighters Rep gear below. This is our Vasyl Lomachenko versus Luke Campbell post-fight reaction discussion. This is live, and I apologize for being a day late. A lot of stuff was going down for us yesterday. We're preparing for Fighters Rep 8, and it's been a little hectic, but here we are to talk about the Luke Campbell versus Vasyl Lomachenko fight, and I'd like to kind of take you through it, take a look at some of the stats, and let you know what I think. First off, it ended up in a decision, unanimous decision that went, I believe, rightfully to Vasyl Lomachenko. Two judges awarded Vasyl Lomachenko the fight 119 to 108. The other one had it 118 to 109. So, I guess that person maybe gave a round to Luke Campbell, or who knows what happened. But I actually believe these scorecards were a bit too wide in my personal opinion. I thought Luke Campbell gave a great fight. I thought he really represented himself well in the fight. A couple things I wanted to note were the body shots from both guys. But the most surprising thing for me was the body shot from Luke Campbell in the 7th round that seemed to really hurt Lomachenko. Now, in part, I think Luke Campbell may have sort of laid out the blueprint on how to deal with Lomachenko. I'm not saying he's a person's going to be able to emulate and beat Lomachenko, but I think Luke Campbell fought a very smart fight. His Olympic pedigree, his reach, his height, his IQ, it all came into play in this fight. And while Lomachenko was dominating the majority of the fight, Luke Campbell put up a hell of a fight, and I actually thought it was a pretty close fight going into the championship rounds. Lomachenko was maybe doing a bit more in the majority of the fight, but I thought it was really close heading into the championship rounds. And one thing I was especially, again, surprised with was Luke Campbell's decision to go to the body. I thought it was very intelligent. I said in my preview prediction video on Thursday, which we do every Thursday night at 9, that Luke Campbell was going to have to be busy from the outside and use his reach and just be very busy to be able to beat Lomachenko. And that's exactly what he was doing. The only difference was he was also able to throw in a lot of body shots, which I thought was a huge deal in this fight. And again, I thought Luke Campbell found something there with those body shots. Now, another reason that I think he was able to hurt Lomachenko in that 7th round, and that's kind of something I want to focus in on, that 7th round, because he hurt, let's make no mistake of it, Luke Campbell hurt Lomachenko in that 7th round with what looked to be a left hook to the body. And I thought Luke Campbell putting in all that work to the body was doing something brilliant, because Lomachenko is a mover. Nobody moves like Lomachenko in boxing today. I don't believe there's anybody with the movement and elusiveness of Lomachenko in boxing today. We all know, as fight fans or as fighters or whatever you are related to the fight game, that when you go to the body against a guy that moves a lot, it stops them from moving a lot. And I thought Campbell was brilliant to go to the body as much as he did. In the 7th round, the thing that I noticed was, so I've spoken about this before, Lomachenko and his teammate Usyk, the cruiserweight now turned heavyweight, they always do a dip to the right. Now, I don't know what it is about the Ukrainian boxing school that has them do this slight dip to the right every now and then as they're moving and they're feinting left and right, and they dip to the right. Perhaps they're dipping towards their opponent's weak side. I don't know what it is, but it's something that I've noticed over and over again between Usyk and Lomachenko. Now, the problem was Lomachenko dipped really hard to the right, and as he was dipping, Campbell may have timed it or may have accidentally just thrown a left hook to the body, and it was the movement of Lomachenko meeting up with the movement of Campbell's fist to the body, and you could tell it really hurt Lomachenko. And that's something that Lomachenko, I think, is going to need to watch out for in the future. I think somebody's going to be able to eventually time these dips. I mean, his patterns are so difficult to read, but that's something he's going to be able to have to watch out for in the future. Either somebody timing the dips or him accidentally dipping into something that's going to really hurt him. And when that punch landed, I mean, he was visibly hurt. I haven't seen Lomachenko visibly hurt like that, I don't think, in any fight. And Luke Campbell was a tall, long, wiry guy, and he was able to get the leverage on that punch. And, it looked like it really hurt Lomachenko. Now, Lomachenko came back at the end of that round and hurt Campbell, showing the heart of the champion, showing how incredible his conditioning is, showing his pedigree. But it was just something very interesting to me, and kind of the entire fight, or rather the entire chance of Campbell winning, theoretically speaking, kind of manifested itself in that moment where he was able to kind of time Lomachenko's dipping and rip to the body like that. And another thing, the reason I think he was able to do that because Luke was staying busy on the outside, keeping Lomachenko at bay. And when Lomachenko would come forward, that's when Campbell would go to the body. I thought that was a great strategy. Keep him on the outside. As soon as he starts coming in, because he's so dangerous at close range and mid-range, go to the body. So that's what Luke Campbell did, and I thought he had some success. I thought he fought a great fight. I thought it was Lomachenko's toughest fight to date, besides the Orlando Salido fight. I did think Lomachenko won the Orlando Salido fight, but that was a different Lomachenko, much younger, less experienced in the pros. Lomachenko was only his second fight, I believe. But yeah, I mean, and Luke Campbell made Lomachenko look almost human last night. He's still superhuman, but he made him look almost human. They were talking about, what's next for Lomachenko. I think the best fight to make is Gervonta Davis. Do I think Davis beats Lomachenko? I don't know, but if he can rip to the body, if he can pick something up from this Luke Campbell fight and just rip to the body, and because I don't think he's going to be able to outbox Lomachenko, but if he could rip to the body, rip to the body, rip to the body, rip to the head, he might have a shot. Tank Davis is a great fighter, and it's the fight to make. It's the fight to make at these lower weight classes. It's the most exciting one, I think. So I think that's what should be next for Vasyl Lomachenko. As far as Luke Campbell, I don't think he's got anything to really hang his head about. I thought he fought a great fight. I thought he was in the fight. It looked like Andre Ward agreed that he was in the fight. I thought in the championship rounds, Lomachenko pulled away. I thought, maybe he was slightly ahead throughout the fight, but I felt like Campbell was in it. I thought it was a good fight, and Campbell has earned his respect, and he's probably the second best guy in the division right now. Actually, I would love to see Campbell maybe fight Tank Davis. I think that'd be a fun fight. But, that's basically what I gathered from this fight. I thought Campbell's strategy of fighting on the outside and staying busy and then ripping the body whenever Vasyl came in on him was the most intelligent game plan I've seen yet against Vasyl Lomachenko. And it was the game plan that I set out in my preview prediction, minus the body shots. I said he needed to stay busy on the outside, but him adding the body shots I thought was very smart. I thought it worked for him a little bit. And I think maybe eventually somebody will be able to emulate that. So, knuckleheads, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to click the subscribe button. Leave me your comments. Tell me what you guys think about the fight. Did you guys think Lomachenko looked human? Was he slightly exposed? Was Campbell just that good? What do you guys think about the fight? Leave it in the comments below.